So welcome to the third part of the video series of Debian App Package Management and Hosting. In this part, what we're going to learn is how to host the package, right? Like in the previous video, what we learned? We learned how to make a dep package, right? We have taken an example of a calculator. We made a calculator program as in the def form, right? And we created a def file also. Now, we want to install it in user systems. User systems, suppose if any of your friend want to install it by apt, then how they will install it? They will install when you will host it on the internet. Okay, so how can we do so? We will use GitHub for hosting that, but before that, we have to understand how we can configure it such that it can be hosted on GitHub. Let me show you my GitHub where I've hosted my repository. You can see here my BHUTUU.repo. It is my repository of termux. Here you can see a dist BHUTUU, a folder packages. You can see in the main you can see all the different processor, and in all the different processor their respective dev files are there. Okay, now here you can see a release file. In this release file, what are the things here? You can see here md5 sum and all the files inside the main. You can see here, uh, let me go back. In the main we have all that process, different type of processor, and inside that processor files folders we have all the packages. Okay, and in all the information of the packages that we have written in control file is mentioned in the package. Okay, here you can see here, and you can see all these SHA-1, SHA-256. These are hash codes used for checking or verifying. You can say the files are true or not. Means the files I'm providing you is real or not. Means this is sent by me only, right? If the hacker sends you the file, okay, and in the release file, I have given you the hash, okay, hashes of my files. Then, when apt will check the hashes with that of the hacker's file, then it will not match, then it will not install in your system. Okay, so this is how it will protect your system from installing the duplicate files using hashes. Let me show you an example also. Suppose I have created a folder. Yeah, you can see it. We have we have a Python file checksum generator. This what does this file do is it will create a checksum uh, of any file that you will provide to it. Suppose I do Python test.sh. Then it will create. Okay, this is a demo file. Python. Okay, sorry. We have to do here check checksum.py. Then we have to provide this file as an argument. So I have taken, for example, test.sh as an argument for this, and it will create the hash of it. Okay, the hash is created of this file. Now I have made another Python file that will check by taking argument of this file and this hash. This hash will be from that release file and the file that is provided by me or the hacker. Okay, if the file is provided by the hacker, then that will not match with this hash. Okay, let's see that. If we do Python, sorry, Python verify checksum and then test.sh, and then let us provide this. Okay, so what we can do is we can copy it, Control C, and then paste it, Control V. Let's check. You can see the file is original, but if you change this hash, like at the last it was 5, but I put 4, you can see the file has been modified or corrupted. It's showing, but here you can show also file is not original, right? means it is from hackers or this file is not safe for your system. These are the things like that. So the same mechanism is used by the app by using the hash and the file provided. It checks that if the file is original or not, like it is provided by the original provider or not. Okay. So you have got the usage of that. Also, if you want to create these files, you can try it yourself or you can use ChatGPT also. Or if you will say, then I will make video over that also. Okay. So this is not the part of this. So let's skip this. Now go to the package again. So here in my repository, you can see one more file that is in release file. How this file is created. This is actually a signature, right? I have done signature that this release is mine only. Okay. And then signature. What kind of signature I have done? Using pen or paper? No, no, no. I used my GPG key. By using GPG key, I signed this release file and created this in release file so that it is verified by me that this in release file is mine only. Okay, and in this in release. Okay. Now, what is that GPG key? If you don't know about the GPG key, let me show you how to create it. GPG key is a secret key. It has two pairs of key, that is private key and the public key. And using private key, you sign that all the things, and using public key, it is used for recognition of the file or things. Okay, and in others' computer, like if you are making an app repository, you have to install your public key in your user's computer. Then only your app repository will be installed because you have signed it by your private key. Okay, so are both keys are connected only. Okay, so let me show you GPG and generate full key that you have to use. Let me show you the help first. Inside the help, you will find this command full generate key. This flag you have to use. Okay, let me clear and GPG and then paste it. And you have to select here RSA, that is first option. And then you have to give here the last limit, that is 1496. Okay, and then here you have to select for how much time you want to make it usable, or if you don't want to expire it, just go for 0 and then yes, and then you have to give your name, yeah, Suman Kumar, and let me give my full name that I have written in GitHub. Okay, now here you have to give your email address. So let me give a random email address as it is not authenticating. So let me give abc at the rate email.com. But you have to give your real. Okay, I'm just uh, giving you demo. That's why I'm doing such thing. Okay. In the comment, you can keep it blank also, or you can put anything. And then here you have to select O and then press enter. And here you have to select a password, and that password must contain small letters, capital letter, at least one capital letter, and a number and a special character. Okay. So let me choose a password like hello, HELLO at the rate, then W capital, and then ORLT. W is capital only one time, and at last I'm putting one. HELLO at the rate W capital ORLT, and then at last one. And press enter. Password is match it. Let's change. Do it again the same. HELLO at the rate WORLT one. And at the above we have to do the same. Oh shit. Again you have to do it. HELLO at the rate WORLT one. What? Timeout failed. I have to do it again. One, then 4096, and then 0, and then Y, and then you have to give your name. at the rate, sorry, not at the rate, style that is. Then here you have the email ID. Suppose I'm giving here abc at the rate gmail.com. Okay, now keeping it blank. Okay, and then you have to choose the password. Hello at the rate WORLD1, and in here also HELLO at the rate WORLD1. Press enter, and you can see uh, it's just creating your GPG key. Just wait for that. Okay. The GPG key created. So did you got any key? Did you do LSP? No, you didn't get anything. But you can see here it is created. So how will you get your private key and the public key? For getting private key, what you have to do is you have to use a simple command, that is GPG, and this flag export SECRET secret, and then dash and key, and here you have to use -a and then put your email ID, that is abc I have given here at the rate gmail.com, gmail.com. Okay, you can see here it's asking for the password. So put the password hello at the rate W capital ORLD1. And you can see you will get the private key. You can save this and file by copying and pasting, or you can do one more thing. You can use here the redirection and make a file private private dot key. Generate ask password. Sorry, LO at the rate WORLD1, enter, and it will create a private key. Here you can see it will add that. You'll get it. Okay. Now, the important thing is public key you have to create for installing that. All the things inside the user's computer. Let's do that. For that, you have to use GPG export export key, and then -a, and then here you have to put the email ID, not the secret key. That previously we had used the secret key. Okay, now you have to remove the secret. EBC at the rate gmail.com, and then use the redirection, and then public dot key. Here it will not ask for the password. Okay, export. Okay, export. Then you have to just use export, not key. Okay, just export. Now you can see you have got the public key. Cat public. You can see here you have got your public key. So how to install the public key? You can install the public key using a apt app key add public key. Okay, the public key, and press enter. Also, the public key must be here only. Then only it will be installed. If it is not in current directory, it will not install. So this command you have to run in the user system, so that your app key or the GPG key would be installed in their system, so that your all the files can be downloaded in their system and installed in their system properly. Now, you can see here you have learned about how to create uh, the GPG key, and how I have created this in release file, like how it is created in release file, how we sign this release file, also how this release file is created. These all the question arising, right? So let's go into dev package. You can see here we have created calculator project, right? And also in the previous video we have created that dev file using this project. How we do that? DPGG dev v calculator, then it will create that dev file. Okay, It will be created as a dev file. Now make a folder mkdir, make a folder like all dev files. Okay, what I'm going to do is for all the project that I will have here, okay, I will create the dev file, right? And then if all the things are here only, then it will mess. It will get mess, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to keep all the dev files in this all dev file. Okay. So let's move it. Currently we have only one. So we are going to move it there. Okay. So it is moved in that all dev files. Now we have to create our repository also that is going to be uploaded on the GitHub. Okay, and this repository only hosted on the GitHub. Then only it is able to install in the user system because we have this repository hosted using the GitHub pages. So the GitHub pages can be accessed by anywhere. You know that if you create a simple website also and keep it on GitHub and using GitHub pages, if you host it, then you can access it from anywhere. Okay. So similarly, we host our app repository also and GitHub on. Okay. So before that, we have to make it such that it can be hosted on GitHub. And you can see here uh, in the main, like when I open this go to the repository, then you can see here I have a license file that is created by GitHub, a readme.md file that is also created by that GitHub only, and config.yml that I will talk about this later, and then added repo I will also talk about this later, and then go to.key is actually my public key. Okay, this is my public key, not the private key. Don't you don't have to share your private key. Okay, now we have to create this Bluetooth and all the things inside that similar thing. So for that we have a script that is made by developer of termux, one of the developer of the termux. Uh, this is known as dev app repo, and but originally its name was termux apt repo. Termux apt repo. There is a package. Let me show you apt show termux app wrapper. Here you can see this is maintained by termux only. And using this script, what you can do is you just have to install this termux app repo. If you don't want to install, no problem. Just you can use this script. I will provide you in a separate GitHub repository. You can use this, and I would suggest you to use this only because I have also made some correction in this. Means some few of the processes are removed in the original one, but I have added here. Okay, so you can use this only. I will provide it in the GitHub. Using this, you can create that disk. Using this, you can create that disk folder inside all the things, whatever here present. You can create all the things at once. Okay. Let's see how it is created. Just you have to run Python dev apt-repo, and then you have to give the folder name where all the dev files are created. Like here you can see all dev files. You have to keep all the dev files in a folder only. You don't have to keep it anywhere else. You have to keep it in a folder. Okay, in a separate folder. You have to collect all the dev files in a folder. Okay, now at the first argument you have to give the folder where all the dev files are there. Okay, so I have given all dev files as first argument, and the second argument you have to give the name of the repository which you want to make. If you have already made that folder, then no problem. You can give that name, and if you don't have created, then it will automatically create that name. Suppose I have bhutu.repo as the repository name, right? Suppose if, for example, I create a new one here, bhutu BHUTUU or YT dot. Okay, and it will create a folder like this by this name and keep all the dist files. You can see distribution file in that only. Okay, like here I have in bhutu.repo, and it will save here in bhutu Okay, that's similarly, and then here you have to give the distribution name. Like you can see here inside the disk, you can see here BHUTUU. BHUTUU is here distribution name. So similarly, you have to give here a name. Suppose here I'm going to give BHUTUU YT. Okay, so BHUTUU YT is my distribution name. That is the third argument. Keep in mind, first is the folder where all the dev files are there, then output repository folder name, and the then the distribution name. Like here, I'm giving the BHUTUU YT. You can give anything. Okay, and then here you have to give the main. You have to write here main. And what is main? Main is here a component. And is here component that you have to give. You can use any, but I would suggest you to use this only, because this only you're going to these only things you're going to write in user system, uh, so that it can be downloaded. That we will see further. Okay. Then here you have to press enter, and then you can see what it says: creating all package for main and all done. It is done. Make the bhutu.repo directory accessible at the repository URL, means where you have the repository URL, means the path at the path of repository URL you have to keep this bhutu mighty.repo. That similarly I have created this bhutu repo. Okay, and what is the URL? The URL is actually the URL is actually my website and forward slash this file. Okay. So similarly, you have to create that. I will cover in the next video. No problem. And what you have to do is, after making it accessible at that repo URL, you have to do one thing, that you have to you have to make a file inside this folder of user's computer or user system, in the user terminals or user linux linux system. You have to make a folder at this path that we have already talked in video 1, sources.list.1 loss.d sources.list.d. Here you have to make a list file. Suppose you give the list file name as bhutu.repo.list. Okay, and inside that you have to write this dev, then trusted is equal to yes. Then here the repository URL, that will be your website forward slash and this repository name. Okay, and then here the same thing, bhutu and the main, the same thing you have to keep. Okay, now now you can see in the bhutu repo, you can see a dist folder is created. Similarly, if you do tree and then dist, you can see here inside dist you have bhutu. This is the distribution, and inside that you can see only release file is there, no in release file is there. And here a main, inside main you can see all the binary files are saved here. Okay, binary means all the project that you have converted into the dev file are stored here. Okay, you can see dev, and all the information is kept in packages, and it is the and xz is the compressed version. Okay, it is compressed into this file. Okay, you can see here release file is there. Okay, you have to sign this release file using a GPG key. Like previously we have talked about GPG. Now we have to use that GPG key to sign this. And how we can do it? We just go into this, and then you have to use GPG sign release. Okay, and you have to give here the password. Okay, so let me give the password. Same password that you use it to create that GPG key. Okay, and you can see here release.gpg file is created. Now you have to change its name to in release. Okay, here I is capital, R is capital. Okay, now it is created. In release is created. Now what you have to do is just come back. Sorry. Now this is ready to be hosted on GitHub. Okay, now this is ready to be hosted on GitHub. And this is full ready to be hosted on GitHub. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to see few more things. Like you have to create a bash script which you will run on user's computer to install your repository in their system. Okay, without installing, it is not possible to install any of your software using apt. Okay. Okay. So in the last video, we will make this one. Okay, not in the last, but yeah, we will make it soon. So we have now key. So the key that you have created, that public key and the private key. So that public key you have to keep here in this folder only. Like you have to keep it in that GoToByte.repo folder, like with the dist only. Like here dist is there, so you have to keep a public key and then your repository adding script. Okay, and all the other things also, like I have kept here license, readme.md. You can also create that readme.md file so that user can read this, how to install that, and what are the packages out there. You can make this also. Okay, if you don't know how to make this, you can watch many videos on YouTube, or if you will say I will make video over this also. Okay, so I will make that also in this video only, because we are going to host this. We are going to host this calculator. Okay, so this is created. Now we have to host it. We have to host it on GitHub. Let's go to the repo. So this we will look in the next video. Till then, just practice this only that I have explained it in this video, because this is over for today. And yeah, this I will provide you. This I will provide you in a GitHub uh, repository. Also, I will give it in the description, the link of this file in the description. Okay, you can use this file to create this GoToByte repository list folder. Inside that list folder, you create it using your dev files that is created in all dev files. Okay, so this was for today. Thank you.